Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. It's Wednesday. Isn't that exciting? The chat is up and running. How's everybody doing? What's going on, people? Afternoon Chat, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The guest stars of this show are the people in the chat. They determine what we talk about. The show has no script. It has no agenda. Every day I get on here, I'm just winging it. Whatever you guys want to talk about is fine with me. We do need to abide by our community guidelines established by YouTube. As long as we do that, everything is cool. This is a free show. You'll find no midstream ads. You'll find no sponsors, no commercials of any kind. I'm not trying to tackle you and tackle your wallet. I'm not running for political office. I'm not trying to become an online influencer. I am trying to meet people and find out what's on their mind. I am not coming out with a line of merchandise. Okay? Nothing's for sale. So, what do you guys got going on? It's quiet here. It's been rainy but cool. Cooler. It's pretty nice out there. A light breeze. I'm in Michigan. And we're looking for an early spring. I'm not sure it's going to hit, but we're looking for it. So, what's going on? What are you people up to today? Let me put together a poll. Look at that. I remembered it all on my own. All right. Do you think we will end the war in Iran soon? Let's see what people think about that today. This is not a political show. It's just a people show. The guest stars, the people in the chat, they determine everything. If they want to talk about Christmas cookies, we talk about Christmas cookies. If they want to talk about war, we talk about war. The people in the chat decide. The show has no agenda or script. Back in the day, most of my adult life, I was working in Las Vegas as a table games dealer. I got used to meeting people, I'd say a minimum 100 people a week for 30 plus years. I liked it. And in my retirement, I decided I missed it. So I created this show so I can continue to meet people from all over the world. Only this time, I'm not taking your money at the blackjack table. I'm not after your wallet. I honestly believe interactive TV is what we're headed towards. Personal opinion. So if you've ever wanted to have a conversation with your television, I'm right here. So what do you guys got going on? I had Crumbelina over last night. We had a nice dinner. We split a rotisserie chicken, had some baked potatoes, and a nice salad. And we watched a movie. I thought it was very fun evening. Personal opinion. And the food was good. Two people on a rotisserie chicken, it seems to go pretty good. It's not that bad. I think I paid $8.99 for the chicken. And tonight I'll be dining alone and eating tacos. I don't know. I've been on a taco craze, so I've been having them every week for the last 5-6 weeks. I do that with food. Something starts hitting the spot, so I just start having it over and over again. Personal preference. So I still got some lighting issues going on, so if you see that light flashing, sorry. I hope it doesn't start strobing. It was driving us crazy last night, so I had to shut it off. I watched a little bit of war news this morning, nothing too serious. I actually believe that they're censoring what we get to see and what we get to learn about. I'm not believing what they're dishing out. It's all propaganda. This exalted hot dog regime running the United States, they are not about truthfulness at all. This is all, the entire war with Iran is an entire distraction. They don't want us to look into the Epstein files. They never released them. They're violating their own laws. Plain and simple. It's all to distract us, and it's costing lives. My opinion, personal opinion. I don't have any insider information. I know I had to stop reading the Epstein files. They were too heinous. I can't. Too much negative information. I don't believe other people should censor information from me, but I believe I have the right to self-censor. And I shut that crap off. It's too disgusting. What I found out was that the United States government, our CIA specifically, knew the children were being molested on this island, and they let it continue for 30 years. Republican and Democratic regimes combined for 30 years, they allowed this to go on. They knew he was breaking laws. They looked at this as Espionage Island. Let's go get dirt on people, and then we can blackmail them. That's what this all was. Epstein was paid by both Israel and the United States. That's why they won't release the financial records. It's because our government was paying him to molest children. They wanted to get the dirt on world leaders so that they could control and manipulate them. Gee, does that sound familiar? Morals and ethics are for people like you and me, not for governments. Governments have no morals. They have no ethics. These are very greedy, self-serving people. That's the way it appears to me. I mean, feel free to disagree. Jump in the chat, educate me, straighten me out. But what I see is from George W. Bush to present day, they allowed all this to go on. They got the complaints. The FBI took the information and then systematically stopped the investigations. They failed to prosecute. They failed to investigate. The CIA was aware of this and they allowed it to continue. Our CIA allowed this to continue for over 3 decades. Thousands of victims. Jeffrey Epstein was a pimp. Yes, he was a child molester and a groomer, but in essence, he was a pimp. He would host these lavish parties, invite all these famous people. And every room, including the bathrooms in his house, had surveillance. They had drugs and they had women. He was just a pimp. But he wasn't going to the bank every Monday morning with a bushel basket of cash. There's a paper trail for all of these transactions throughout the years. Our banking officials keep paper trails on all of us. They have them on him as well. They chose not to release those banking records because they don't want you and I to know. My question is, who's the new pimp? Somebody took Epstein's place. All these famous world figures still want to indulge in their daily debauchery. They're still hound dogging women. Who's the new pimp? I have no idea, but I know that there's a job opening that had to be filled. They're still having parties. They're still drinking champagne and eating caviar. They're still chasing women. Why would they stop? They should have called it Fetish Island. Epstein's Island's not explanatory enough. They should have called it Fetish Island. That's what it was. Whatever your niche in the sexual arena, you could go there and live out your fantasies. And they would film you and then use that to blackmail you. into doing anything that they wanted. I believe that both Russia and Israel have video proof of Donald Trump molesting young girls. He's their bitch. They blackmail him into doing anything and everything that they want. They forced him to attack Iran, just like they're forcing Trump to now remove all the sanctions on Russia. Trump doesn't have a choice. If they publish those videos, Trump would lose all his power and be prosecuted for his crimes. He's the blackmail victim, but at the same time, he's the child molester. That's my opinion. Feel free to voice yours. I mean, the chat's wide open. But all of this is all espionage. All of the world's governments were involved. If they weren't being blackmailed themselves, they were buying compromise on other countries, on other officials. They were all blackmailing and backstabbing each other at our expense. All those girls were sexually abused, and the U.S. government condoned these activities. That's why they won't release the files. They don't want you to have proof of their guilt. And it was all of them. The billionaire elites. They do not have morals. They do not have ethics. They have criminal history. They have a tendency to indulge themselves at every and any opportunity. They have not paid a price for their crimes. They are not going to stop committing them. If they were molesting children, they're still molesting children. If they were buying women, they're still buying women. They have no reason to stop. Trump was convicted of 34 felony counts of fraud. He has not stopped committing fraud. Now he's doing it with the government books. Unemployment is higher than he's telling you. Inflation is higher than he's telling you. The nation's GDP is lower than he's telling you. There was no growth in 2025 in the U.S. economy. It shrank. They're lying to you. They're giving you fake numbers. They're cooking the books. It's fraud. They are not telling you the truth in any instance. Take a look at 2025. Trump starts a trade war with the world. That reduces all imports and all exports. Reduced, not increased, reduced. Negatives. Then they went in and they cleaned out the U.S. government officials and fired 250,000 people. A quarter of a million people no longer getting government paychecks. Another negative. You cannot take a bunch of negatives and add them together and come out with a positive number. Math doesn't work that way. They're lying to us. The farmers aren't exporting as much. A negative. Manufacturing is on the decline. Another negative. Tourism is down. Another negative. You cannot have all these negative influences on the economy and come out with a positive number. There is no growth. 2025 was a reduction. That's the truth. That's the way I see it. I'm just one guy sitting on his couch. I don't have any inside information. I watch the same news broadcast you do. But I'm not falling for their propaganda. I'm not buying into this bull. Just like this war, there are more casualties than they're telling you about. There is more loss of life, more loss of property. Both sides are kicking ass. The United States and Israel are dropping a lot of bombs, and they're shooting down a lot of incoming drones and missiles, but they're not getting them all. Not by a long shot. And every time they do take out a $30,000 drone, they're shooting it with $1 million interceptor missile. It's not going to work. You cannot underestimate drone warfare. This is what the United States has done. Our military industrial complex that thought, let's start a war, we'll make money, we'll make billions. They screwed up, because you can make millions of dollars making a multi-million-dollar jet and selling it. How can you make millions of dollars off of a $30,000 drone? You can't. That's where we're at. That's exactly where we're at. They got all these fancy missiles, and they all cost tons of money, and they are all ineffective at shooting down these little bitty drones. They're too small, they're too fast, and they're too cheap. The military industrial complex cannot make billions in profit off of this. They can make a few million, but they can't be satisfied with that. These are U.S. corporations. They must make billions and billions of dollars every year. They have no need to make planes. They have a need to make drones, but they can't make any money making drones. Warfare has changed. What they should be doing is not making war. It's all about greed for these people. The billionaire elites, the Epstein class, if you will, they suffer from an addiction. They're addicted to their own greed. They must make more money this year than they made last year. They don't have morals and they don't have ethics, but they have an addiction to their own greed. To you and I, that makes no sense. Why would you be addicted to your own greed? These people already possess generational wealth. They never have to work another day in their life. Their children don't have to work another day in their life. Their grandchildren don't ever have to work a day in their life. Generational wealth. And it's not enough. They're like a meth head sitting in the gutter. He can't do anything. He can't function. All he can focus on is he's got to get his next fix. He's got to get his next hookup. It's the same way these billionaires are. They're addicted to their own greed. Every time they see some other billionaire making money, it drives them nuts. I should be making more money than that guy. They're keeping up with the Joneses. Doesn't matter who they have to bribe. Doesn't matter if people die in war. They're okay with that as long as they make more money this year than they made last year. They're addicts. That just like that junkie in the street. He can't see anything except his next high. That's what all of this is about. The greedy people that are running the world are attacking the poor people to get their money. They're not happy with what the amount that they're already getting. They want more. More wars, more corporate mergers, more grift. They are stealing money. That's all this is. They're junkies feeding their addiction. They don't care if you and I die. They don't care if we go broke and starve to death. The only thing they care about is indulging their every whim. And their whim is to take money from you and I. That's where we're at. These people do not have morals and they do not have ethics. They sold their soul. Donald Trump sold out the free world so that he could remain in power. Yes, he's a despicable human being. They all are. They all took part in the crimes on Epstein's Island. Yeah, I should just go with Fetish Island. I think that's what it was. They're all in the same hustle. They're all in the same grift. It'd be like walking up to one of them and asking them, why didn't you come clean on your crimes? Why didn't you turn state's evidence? Testify about what you saw on Fetish Island. They can't. They're too greedy. They need to get their next fix. If they sell out the rich class, who are they going to party with? They're going to these parties every week, whining and dining, backroom deals, hustles, scams, ripoffs. It's all they know. They have no reason to stop committing these same crimes. They've never had to pay for committing these crimes. They've never been held accountable for their own actions. They've indulged themselves in every type of debauchery imaginable. Their greed has no limits. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to jump in and change the subject. I don't mind. All I can talk to you about is what's on my mind. I'm not going to live stream 2 hours of dead air. With no one in the chat, you're leaving it up to me, and the things on my mind are not pretty. They're pretty sick is what they are. These people are mentally ill. They are feeding their own addictions. Their addictions are sex and money. Could be money and then sex, or it could be sex and then money. Either way, this is what they're after. And they have no reason to stop. They've never been held accountable before. Why would they be held accountable now? They want you to look at the war in Iran and forget about the Epstein files that they did not release. And if the war in Iran isn't enough, they're going to start another war. They're going to attack Cuba, or they're going to attack Ecuador, or they're going to attack Venezuela again, or they're going to go after Greenland. The blackmailers want the U.S. out of NATO. They want NATO to dissolve. They want NATO to fall apart. And they are blackmailing Trump to do this. And Trump, I'm sorry, but he's just another one of these junkies. A billionaire junkie hooked on his own greed, sitting there in the gutter. I can put it bluntly to you. Offer him $1 billion, he'll drop to his knees and suck you off. It's an illness they cannot resist. We could set up a sting and bust them all. They're hooked on the greed. They can't pass it up. It is an addiction for them. These guys spend more on lobster than you and I make in a year. Their debauchery is out of control. No one tells them no, ever. What happens if you have a child that's 2 years old and you don't ever tell them no? What happens to that child? It's the exact same thing. Only it's a grown-ass man. They were using hookers. Guess what? They're still using hookers. They didn't stop. They're still spying on other countries. They're still trying to get dirt on other people. Somebody took Epstein's place. They have no reason to stop. There's no motivation for them to stop. That's the way I see it. I put up the poll. Do you think that the Iran war will end soon? It doesn't matter if it ends or not to them. They'll start a new war. They'll do anything except release those Epstein files and let you know what sick puppies they really are. They would be ostracized by society. If those files came out, if those videos were released, that's why I say to the countries, the members of NATO, if you want control over Donald Trump, you need to get your own copy of these videos of him molesting the children. Or you need to bribe him. He will never function unless you have control. He doesn't like NATO because if he does like NATO, Putin will release the tape. The man is transactional. He'll like whoever's giving him the money. That's his whole shtick. He responds to blackmail. He responds to bribery. The Qataris gave him a $400 million jet. He liked that a lot. So now when he sets up his slush funds, they go to Qatari banks. He likes the Qatari people a lot because they bribed him quite nicely. You can get the same treatment from him if you bribe him. All of those countries that joined his board of peace put up $1 billion. Why did they do that? Bribe the man. Quite simple. Here you go. And by the way, could you do this for me? Thanks, Donnie. Good boy. Good boy. It's all pathetic. They're just like the junkie in the street. We could set up an international sting and bust them all. They'd all have to be in on this because they can't pass it up. They're too greedy. It's just like that meth addict sitting there in the street. If you walk by with a little bag of meth, what happens? You own that bitch, right? It's exactly the same. There's no difference. Only instead of the bag of meth, you need a bag with $1 billion in it. If you got that bag with $1 billion in it, you're going to be like the Pied Piper. They're going to line up and follow you anywhere you go. Please, sir, drop that billion right here. I need a fix. They're addicted to their own greed. You and I both know about self-control, right? These people don't know self-control. They've had no restrictions their entire lives. Epstein screws up, gets himself thrown in jail. They just have him killed. No skin off their nose. He wasn't the only one they killed. They've killed several pimps. Why haven't they killed Ghislaine Maxwell? Evidently, she's blackmailing the right guys. They're all criminals. They're all addicts. None of them have the same morals that you and I have. None of them have the same ethics that you and I have. All they have is an addiction to their own greed. They've never told themselves no. They've never had to self-restrain. They've never had any limitations. Epstein used to take those underage girls and he used them to get more underage girls. He told them, if you want to get in on this program, you're going to have to bring other girls, other cute girls, other young girls. And they did not stop. If they molested children then, they're still doing it now. If they were using prostitutes, they're still using prostitutes. If they were doing cocaine, they're still doing cocaine. Human beings don't stop doing behaviors that they enjoy unless they're forced to. You take an alcoholic and you put him in jail where he does not have alcohol access, what happens? He goes through the DTs and eventually detoxes, gets it out of his system. What's he do as soon as he gets out of prison? Goes and gets a drink. These guys are the same way. You can't get them to stop unless you put them in prison. Unless you deny them access, they're going to keep doing the same crimes. Most human beings cannot fathom the depth of the debauchery that went on that island. Young girls, younger than you think girls. They did everything to them. And they've never shown any remorse. Sociopathic tendencies, they have no remorse. Why would they feel guilty? Unless you force them to feel guilty. When Donald Trump's sex tape with an underage girl finally hits the internet, he'll be held accountable. My advice to NATO, release the tape. You release that tape, Donald Trump goes away real fast. When that tape is released, Donald Trump is done. You'll never have to worry about him and his crazy ass again. And who knows, maybe the next U.S. president won't have all this compromise out on him. That's what all of this is about. I'll bet you. Release the tape of Donald Trump so that Russia does not have control of him, so that Israel does not have control of him, and he will disappear but quick. They'll drum him out of office. They'll start wheeling him into a courtroom in a wheelchair. We're going to hear, oh, he's sickly. He's got all these health issues. Please don't put him in behind bars. You've seen it. Historically, you've seen it. This is what happens. Oh, feel sorry for me. Bill Cosby. Oh, feel sorry for me. I'm old. You're evil, you son of a bitch. You need jail time. Straighten your monkey ass out. You need to be held accountable for your actions. The same as what happened to you and would happen to me. We are all held accountable for our actions unless you're filthy, stinking rich. Why are all these billionaires, all of these people that have all of this money, this generational wealth, why do they have any interest in running this country whatsoever? They got to feed their greed. That's what it boils down to. They're addicts. No. Generational wealth isn't enough. Why isn't it enough? Because they get bored. The only thing they know how to do is grift. The only thing they know how to do is feed their addiction. Their life has no boundaries. You and I, our lives have boundaries. We have morals, we have ethics. There are things that we're not willing to do. The time I spent in the casino industry, when I hired in, I was working for the mafia, the mob. God, I love those guys. They treated me good. Really good. For example, just a lowly dealer in a downtown casino. My boss comes walking up beside me and I say, "Hey, boss, that's my father, that's my mother, it's my sister, my brother, my whole family came in to see me. Isn't that nice?" The boss says, "Well, let me send them all into the steakhouse. We'll wine them and dine them until you get off of work." Thank you. That's really kind, really nice of you. You think corporate America would do that? No. uh-uh. Not at all. Not even close. I saw a story the other day about a guy. He had, let's just say he was mentally challenged. And he worked for a grocery store chain. The grocery store chain produced some food items for retail sale. As you got closer to the expiration date of that food item, the price would drop. Once the food was expired, they had no choice but to throw it out. They couldn't sell it once it expired. He was buying up the food the day that it was going to expire at the lowest possible price. Long story short, they charged him with theft. He's stealing the food that we could have sold. He's eating the food you didn't sell. It's a fine line, right? Corporate America charges him with a crime. The mob would have fed the guy to begin with. I'm just saying. Personal opinion based on my personal experience. But back to my point. Corporate America ain't going to do shit for you but cheat you, short you. As I worked in the casino industry, I used to openly tell them, the higher up I get in the hierarchy of this building, the closer to the front door I get, because there are certain things I'm not willing to do. I have morals. I have ethics. I draw a line in the sand. I ain't crossing it. I don't care what you offer me. And you can't ever blackmail me because I know what I did in my life and I don't care what you think about it. I can look myself in the mirror and I know that I haven't hurt people. I haven't attacked people. I haven't stolen from people. I got no issues. I don't feel any guilt because I don't do anything to feel guilty about. I remember going into a I was in upper management going into a meeting, and we've got a bad employee here. I want a paper trail on this guy in the next 30 days because I want him out of here. We're not paying him any unemployment. That's the way it went down in the management meeting that I attended. I heard what they had to say. The meeting ended. I walked out, found the employee, fired him on the spot, and I looked him dead in the eye and I said, go file for unemployment today. Don't wait. Here's your term slip. Change the personnel. I'm not going to sit around for 30 days and build a paper trail on some guy to cheat him out of unemployment. If he don't want to be on the team and we don't want him to be on the team, get him the hell out now. Don't screw him over. When you screw him over, that's when he goes and gets an assault rifle and comes back in and says hi. There's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things, and you don't treat people wrong. They're human beings. That demands a level of respect that some of these corporate bosses don't have for human life. In my opinion. Feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. But I'm telling you, some of these people think differently than you and I think. They don't understand right and wrong. What they understand is their own greed. And how can I pay that guy unemployment when I want that money more than he does? That's how they're running our country. Cheat the little guy. The guy that has no power, has no influence, cheat him, rob him. It's okay. It's the right way to do business. I saw a casino, this is years back. They were the gaming leader in the world at that time, and I'm working for them, and they have a corporate goal. We made $50 million in net profit this year. Next year, we want to make 10% more. So 50 million this year, we want 55 million next year, right? The next year, they made their goal. They've got 55 million in net profit the second year. I go to another meeting and they say, our goal, we want to get to 60 million net profit the next year. They want to go up by another 10% or more, right? That's their corporate goal. And I say, all your frontline employees for the last 2 years, well, you've been not only profitable, but increasingly profitable. They're still working for minimum wage. What do you say we kick them $0.25 an hour? Improve morale, prove that working here is better than working at the casino across the street, who's also still paying minimum wage. They're like, no, that's our money. We're not giving that to them. Wait a minute. Didn't they just earn it over the last 2 years? Didn't they just increase your profits? Didn't you just hit all of your goals? If we're going to rise up, shouldn't we all rise up? No, that's not the way business works. No, you got to keep that minimum wage employee there for as long as possible at minimum wage. It cannot increase ever. It would literally take an act of God to get that minimum wage employee a raise. No matter how much money the corporation makes, they're not going to do it. They're never, ever going to be the nice guy. They're never, ever going to be truly loyal to those that work for them. Loyalty to a corporation is only going uphill. It's never going downhill. Not going to happen. Corporate America. That's how it works. Screw you. They don't care. You're replaceable. A matter of fact, if they could replace you for half your wage, you better believe they'd do it. You have no value. Not to them. That's corporate America. The sole proprietorship. I was working at a particular casino back in the day that was a sole proprietorship. That sole proprietorship was run extremely well. The owner cared about all of his workers. He treated them like his own family. When December rolled around, the slowest month of the year back then, most of the casinos would lay off a percentage of their staff. Not the sole proprietorship. The sole proprietorship said, listen, I don't want to have to lay anybody off. If you can afford to take some extra time off, please do it this month. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. Your 40 hours is still guaranteed. I got your back. But I don't want to lay you off. I don't want to reduce my workforce. He treated him good. Corporate forced him out of his own casino. And the first time December run around, they laid off a percentage of their staff. It's a sound business decision, but it's not the way you treat people. The way you treat people, if your people are making you successful, you need to make your people successful. And you don't do that by working them at minimum wage for 10 solid years as you're improving your profit margin year after year after year. When you climb the ladder of success, you don't pull up the ladder behind you. A real successful person, a real human being, stands at the top of the ladder and says, hey, you guys get over here and get on this ladder. I need you guys up here with me. That's not in corporate America's wheelhouse. They don't work it that way. Corporate America, they're going to take care of their brother-in-law. But they're not going to take care of their worker. That's my opinion. I worked in that industry for 33 plus years. Started out as a dealer and worked my way up to casino shift manager. I know what I saw. Let's talk about something else. Somebody jump in the chat, change the subject, please. We need more positive topics. Who's got a good Samaritan story? Good Samaritans are out there. I see them all the dang time. I'll tell you a good story. Yesterday, I go for a walk in the park. Right after the show, I smoked a bowl, go for a walk in the park. I met a nice young couple with the cutest little puppy. Oh, this puppy was just, it was literally a live plushie. You know, one of these little, oh, cute little dog. Fast forward to today. I can't remember the people's names. And we shook hands, introduced ourselves, right? Nice young couple. I probably talked to them for 10 minutes, right? I can't remember their names today, but I remember their dog's name. Does that tell you something about me? I forgot their names, but I remember the dog Dixie. Oh, that dog was so cute. There really are good people out. There are a lot of good people. I meet good people all the time. I meet good people in here all the time. It's great. I see people. I'll see someone get into the chat that's got an issue. They've got a problem they're trying to work through or something like that. And I see other people in the chat that don't know them that'll be supportive, give them advice, offer kindness. When I see that stuff, it just warms my heart. All those years in Vegas, meeting all those people coming through the casinos, they were all so nice. From every country in the world, I met nice people. I was working for tips, all right? And I can tell you, they were all nice people. I honestly believe that the good people in this world outnumber the bad by a lot. I'm talking like 10 to 1. Story I tell all the time. Back in the 70s, I saw a college study that had been done on criminal behavior in the United States since the inception of the United States. They were talking about felony criminals, not jaywalkers, hitchhikers, or felony, armed robbery, murder, rape, right? Felony criminals. And they said throughout the history of the United States, 7% of the population appeared to be felony criminal. And the story that came with this study explaining it said that throughout the history of the United States, no matter what laws they enacted, no matter what laws Congress passed, and no matter what militarization happened in the police force, they couldn't change that number. It remained 7%. 25 years the study had run. And they said that in that 225-year period of time, 7% of the U.S. population could be considered felony criminal. They couldn't get it up to 8%. They couldn't get it down to 6%. It remained a constant 7% of the population. What I gleaned from that study, from that article, what the information I took in from it was that no matter what happens, 93% of the U.S. population is not criminal at all. 9.3 good guys versus 1 bad guy. Almost 10 to 1. And fast forward to today, I can confidently tell you that of that 7% of the population that remains criminal, 2 million of those guys are currently behind bars. Between federal, state, and local authorities, 2 million are incarcerated. So I deduce your police department in your local town by itself outnumbers your bad guys. Just the police department alone outnumbers the bad guys. I know you watch the same news I do. I know you don't see it. That's because the news media is owned by the same corporations that won't give minimum wage workers a raise. They don't believe in it. They control the media, and they use the media to scare you and I both. If you watch the news, they tell you this guy went in and shot up the grocery store, harmed 4 people, and then they're going to blast you with this over and over and over again to make you scared, to make you think there was crime rampant in the streets. It gets you to tune back in. That's not the real story. The real story is that out of the 340 million Americans, 1 did a public shooting. They're not telling you about the 339,999,999 people that didn't shoot anyone. They're using your fears to separate you and divvy you up into smaller groups. They want to divvy you up into these smaller groups because it makes you easier to control and manipulate. They want to use your fears so that you do not stand shoulder to shoulder with your fellow human beings. They want you in the smaller groups. There is one group of people on this planet. They're called human beings, the human race. We are unique. While we all have the same core, being a product of a mother and a father, our core is the same. At the same time, we are all unique individuals. Some of us are black, some of us are white, some of us are Asian, some of us are different. The core remains the same. But at the same time, we're all unique individuals. I can guarantee you, you've never met anyone in your life quite like me. I've had a different life than any of you. And you a different life than any of us. We are unique individuals. But at the same time, we are all members of the human race. It's like when you look at wolves. There are different types of wolves from all over the planet, but they're all basically wolves, right? Same thing. Human beings grew up in different environments, and based on those environments, they have gone through some minor changes so that now we have different skin tones. We have different types of hair, different colored eyes, different blood types. All basically the same, but all unique individuals. They use your fears to divvy you up into subgroups. One human race. But if we make a subgroup of Christians and a subgroup of Muslims, then we can tell them the exact same thing to stimulate them into action. So I go to the Christians and I say, I want you to be careful of them Muslim guys. They're all out to get you. They're plotting against you 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I'm convinced they're about to attack you. I'm convinced they're the bad guys. I tell you this because I'm convinced you're the good guys. So I say that to the Christian. And then I turn and I tell the Muslim people the exact same thing. Those other guys are plotting against you. They're gonna get you. You should probably strike first. That's your best defense is a good offense. You should lash out at them. Let's not make it Christian and Muslim. Let's make it Democrat and Republican. Let's make it black versus white. They're all subgroups. Your subgroup is better than the other subgroup. You and I know that's not true. Common sense tells us they're not better than we are. They're just different than we are. They have different customs. They have a different language. They have different ways, mannerisms. They're not out to get you. They're not. But if you watch our news, which is owned by corporate America, it's all about divvying them up into smaller subgroups. Doesn't matter how many subgroups, unlimited number of subgroups. Divvy them all up, and it makes them plain and simple, easier to manipulate, easier to control. If you're an American, your fellow American is not your enemy. Let me say that again. If you're an American, your fellow American is not your enemy. I don't care who tells you he is, he's not. Is he different than you? Yeah, probably. Doesn't make him your enemy. Doesn't make him a bad guy. In my opinion, the people that are telling you to hate one another, to distrust one another, these are the bad guys. If you've got a politician telling you to hate Republicans, he's not your friend. He's not doing you a good service. It's the exact opposite. He's trying to divvy you up into a subgroup. Why? To make it easier to control and manipulate you. They're going to play on your fears. I saw a Republican in the news that took a gun and shot so-and-so. We should expect a lot more of that. Why? If you're an American, your fellow American is not your enemy, and I don't care who's telling you he is. He's not. Are you sitting around plotting to hurt people? Normal people don't do this. Normal people are busy. They're working hard. They're building for a future. They're taking care of themselves and their loved ones. They're not plotting. If you are plotting, you need some counseling. You've been radicalized. Normal people don't do this. You want to know what normal people do with other normal people? They tolerate them. Yeah, you're different than I am, so what? Who cares? I don't. You're talking about the minutia. I don't care about the minutia. It doesn't matter. They're not plotting against you. They're trying to lead their lives. They're trying to take care of their own. You see this when the natural disasters hit. When New Orleans was flooded, and they're plucking people off of rooftops with helicopters. Was there a guy up there on in the helicopter that had a loudspeaker or a bullhorn that was saying, "We'll get you as long as you're not Democrat"? Are you a Democrat? If you're a Democrat, we're going to leave you there to die. Doesn't work that way. Human beings don't work that way. Human beings do the right thing. We're going to get everybody off of every rooftop. We don't care about the color of their skin. We don't care about their religion. We don't care about their gender. We don't care what they do for a living. We're going to save them all. We're going to save every damn human being we can find to save. And then we're going to go out and look for more. Because it's the right thing to do. This is what human beings do. These people that you see on TV that are telling you to fear your fellow American, telling you to hate your fellow American, telling you to lash out against your fellow American, these are not the good guys. These are the bad guys. They're telling you wrong. They have an ulterior motive, and it's not good. Anytime you see a Republican telling you to hate a Democrat, or a Democrat telling you to hate a Republican, these are not good people. If you're a Republican in Congress and you want to get things done to help your people, what do you need? You need the Democrats on your side. Vice versa. If you're a Democrat and you're working in Congress, what do you need to do to get things done that help your constituents? You need the Republican on your side. It's a funny thing about human beings. It's the simplest mathematical equation that there is. By tolerating your fellow man, you can get your fellow man to join your team. Doesn't matter what task you're trying to accomplish. It doesn't matter what your goal is. The more human beings you get on your team, what happens? Right off the bat, you get more people on your team, it lightens your workload. Number two thing that happens when you get more human beings on your team, think about it, it speeds up your success. One man wants to build a house, could take him a couple of years. Hard work. But if that one man gets 200 people on his team to help him build that house, he'll pop it off in 2 weeks. Speeds up his success and lowers his own participation at the same time. Think about that the next time you're trying to lift a 300-pound truss up to the roof by yourself. Don't work that good. It's hard. Get some people to help you. Get some human beings on your team. That's the solution to your problem. It doesn't matter what your task is. The more human beings you have on your team, the less you work and the faster you succeed. So tell me again why Democrats are supposed to hate Republicans. If I need Republicans on my team, why am I supposed to hate them again? And vice versa. If I'm the Republican, I need those damn Democrats on my team in order to get things done. The more of them I get on my team, the quicker I succeed. So tell me again, why am I supposed to hate my fellow American? Oh, because he's different than I am? We're all different. Get past it. If I can get past the fact that you're different and you can get past the fact that I'm different, we can get on the same team, we can work together, and we can succeed. It's like human collaboration is what's building our society. Open your front door and take a look. You don't see a building, you don't see a street that's built by one man. It's built by a group of human beings. That collaboration is the whole reason we have cities. And that skyline you see out there is your bona fide proof that human beings can work together and build great things. So tell me again why I gotta hate my fellow American? No, I don't gotta hate him. I gotta tolerate him. I gotta tolerate him, and I gotta get me on his team or him on my team. Either way, I'm going to succeed if I get on a team. I'm going to achieve all my goals if I'm on a team. When do I struggle? When I'm going it alone. When I'm the only one building that house, it becomes a major burden. And if I get 200 people on my team, building that house is no longer a major burden. It's actually like a successful 2 weeks worth of work. Damn. Nice house. These people on TV, the corporations are controlling them. They are trying to divvy you up into subgroups and play you against one another. Cause conflict so you don't notice that they're stealing all your money. Watch the shiny object. Pay no attention to me putting your life savings in my back pocket. That's what all of this is about. It's greed. That's their motivation for splitting you up into all these little subgroups. Do you know what happens when human beings stand shoulder to shoulder and work together? They're extremely successful. Laughably successful. They can have a good time. They can be cutting up the whole day at work if you've got enough people on your team. When does work get hard? When we're short-handed, when there's fewer of us. I didn't invent this equation, folks. It's been in front of mankind for eternity. And I'm sorry, I'm the only one that's telling you the truth. I'm the only one on TV I see that's telling you unity is the secret of your success. Get more people on your team. I'm going to prove it to you with this channel. This channel will succeed because I'm going to get more people on my team. Like and subscribe if you could. This is an inclusive channel. Everyone's opinion is welcome here. And it's always going to be inclusive. It's not an exclusive club. The exclusive club don't build shit. But an inclusive team, it keeps their doors open, keeps welcoming people in, is destined to succeed at each and every goal that it ever tries to accomplish. It cannot fail. It's almost laughable. If you are struggling, you need more people on your team. A young couple buys a new house. They're struggling. What do they need? Another person on their team. They rent out a bedroom. Now we got more income. We got another person on our team. What happens? We succeed. We keep improving. We keep getting better. It's the secret of life, if you ask me. Get more people on your team. Don't let these people split you up. You don't have to agree with every human being on the planet. Hell, you don't even have to like every human being on the planet. But if you want to succeed, you need to tolerate every human being on this planet. Don't have to agree with them. Don't even have to like them. But if you can tolerate them, you guys can be on the same team and you can both be successful. That's my opinion. I'm just one guy sitting on his couch in Michigan. But I'm telling you, what you're seeing on TV is not reality. It's propaganda. B Squared. Hey, welcome back. I appreciate you. Nice to see you. What are you up to? Wrapping up work for the day. Teaching, right? I seem to remember you being a teacher. Nice. Hey, Monday I turned 69. Thank you very much. It was a milestone for me. I really never thought I'd live this long. Oh, 44, you're still a young baby. You got a lot of life left. I'm glad you're doing well. And I hope all your graduates are doing well too. I just had a discussion with my oldest son about The number of college kids that are still dying from fentanyl, it seems like the number's not going down. They are, you know. But I highly recommend counseling to people. It's helpful to get to talk about the problems, the things that are stressing you out, because stress is killing people all over this planet. You can't let things eat you alive. I love counseling because you get to talk to people and get an overview of what choices you're making, what path you're blazing for yourself. I agree. You hang tough. Don't give up. We have to endure the hardships in order to take joy in the success. Personal opinion. The war is really horrific, and they're not telling us all the right information. They're giving us propaganda. I know, I understand. I talked to both my sons with the war, and I asked them to stay out of the large venues, large gatherings of people. I asked. I can't command, but I can ask. And I spoke to them about remaining in the country. Exactly. Stay here, keep your head down. Smaller venues, more intimate settings. We don't have any control over what's going on, hun. So we have to be vigilant. I told the kids, keep your wits about you as you're moving about town. My kids live in Vegas, and Vegas is a target because they get worldwide press. But I'll tell anybody anywhere in the world right now, be aware of your surroundings and do not take excessive risk. This is not the time to be taking excessive risk. Yes, we have. Been there, done that. Oh, I agree. I agree. Shouldn't we have learned these lessons already? Okay. I agree 100%. We've seen all this before. Exactly. I remember the Vietnam War like it happened yesterday. The U.S. got involved and we knew nothing about jungle warfare. In the beginning, we got our ass handed to us. Now the same thing's going on again in Iran. Drone warfare has changed the playing field. Yep. Yeah, but the coverage nowadays isn't the same as the coverage was back in Desert Storm. In Desert Storm, we had reporters embedded. Now they don't allow the reporters to embed. They don't want to release what's really happening. It's all propaganda now, everything you see on the news. For war coverage, I'm watching a place called, a channel called The Enforcer. Yeah. Al Jazeera English. This is a suggestion. But yeah, the BBC is a little bit better than the US. But I watch the Enforcer channel. But you got to keep in mind, those are young kids that run that channel. Take it with a grain of salt. They don't have a lot of life experience yet. The important thing is all wars end eventually. They have to. It may take 20 years, but they all come to an end. This stuff is cyclical. It's always going to come back around. History is repeating itself. That's what I said about the ICE agents in the streets. I saw that in the 60s. We called them pigs, right? It's the exact same thing. Society is like a giant rubber band. Every time it pulls this way, it's going to come pulling back. Every time prejudice starts to rear its ugly head, it gets pulled back and shoved back under that rock. Yeah, they murdered him. Plain and simple. The same thing ICE is doing nowadays. The uniforms have changed, but the attitude hasn't. They were wrong then, and they're wrong now. But these things, there's a sway, okay? But it's always going to bounce back. And when it bounces back, some of these people are going to have to live with some of the things that they did. That's not going to feel good. These ICE agents that are going around destroying people's civil rights don't realize it, but they're destroying their own civil rights. These are American citizens that are lashing out against other American citizens. The ending, we already know how it ends. It bounces back, and these people will feel great shame for their actions. It's sad, but it's true. We've seen it all before with the wars. We've seen this, and we know exactly how it's going to turn out. There is no victory. It's all loss. Loss of lives on both sides, loss of peace of mind on both sides. It's 100% bad. But you can jump in this chat room And you can find good people in here from all over the world. There are more good people in this world than there are bad, I swear it. And it's not just this country, it's every country. I've met plenty of Iranians that are not bad people at all. Hey, anytime, B. We'll always be there for you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Be safe. Be happy. And find someone to love. I dare you. Friend of the show, B Squared. You gotta love this girl. She's great. All right, I gotta end the poll. Unfortunately, I have to agree with it. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. But that's what we came up with, was 100% no vote. Afternoon Chat's the name of the show. Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A free show. The stars of this show, the guest stars of this show, are the people in the chat. Today, B Square stole the whole show. Talk about anything you want. This show has no script. It has no agenda. What it has is an open heart and a willingness to embrace anyone that wants to come in and talk. You don't have to agree with me to be in here. It's not required. We're not trying to sell you anything here. We're trying to make friends here. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. We do need to follow the community guidelines that are established by YouTube. Other than that, the only thing wrong you can do is not have a good time. The world can be a scary place. Hopefully, some of us can find some refuge here. Okay? I want to thank everybody for watching, everybody for chatting, everybody that viewed or listened. I appreciate you all. Every last one of you. You matter. Your opinion matters. And if you care to voice it, the show's going to be here for you 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. I think that if you're nice to everybody all of the time, all of that kindness, all that niceness comes back to you tenfold. This is going to be an interesting year. We've got a lot going on in the world. Some of it good, some of it bad. But we can sort this all out together. Okay? All right. I started and stopped a poll today. All right. That's 2 days in a row. Success. It's right around the corner. I can feel it. Tolerate your fellow human being. You cannot pick and choose for people. You cannot micromanage people. It never works. If you want to stand in your front yard and yell at everybody as they go by, you can. It's not illegal. But the thing you're doing, you're teaching them that it's okay to stand in their front yard and yell at you as you go by. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect your fellow human being. I don't care what they look like. I don't care what they sound like. It doesn't matter. They deserve your respect. Our quality of life comes from all the other people on the planet. If you were the only one here, it'd be a damn lonely place, and you'd have to work very, very hard just to survive. All those other people give you a massive amount of options. The options give you quality of life. If you're living in New York City and you want to go out to dinner, walk out your front door, you've got thousands of options where to go. Those thousands of options are because of all the other people. Without those people, you don't have those options. I'm relying on the people at the power company. I rely on the people at the water company. I rely on people at the TV channel. I rely on the people at the restaurants, at the grocery stores, at the gas stations. I need them all so that I have my quality of life. Every one of them is important to me. I'm not willing to go it alone. The work is too damn hard. I want those options. That's my quality of life. The more people, the better. Doesn't matter what race they are. Doesn't matter what age they are. Doesn't matter what their religion is. I'm going to respect them all, and I'm going to treat them the way I want to be treated. Personal opinion. That's all I can offer you. I want to thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe. It will help the channel somehow, some way that YouTube might explain to me someday. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3. Be safe. Be happy. And find someone to love. I dare you. See you guys tomorrow.